The vile Temple of Atzoatl. Wealth, decadence, cruelty, death. Lost for over 1,000 years. But there is a way to find Atzoatl. I will thrust you into the past. But beware. Changing the past will transform the Temple's future. Defeat the architects. Open new paths. Steer the Temple's construction. Once we locate the ruins of Atzoatl, everything within is ours for the taking. Are you ready? Let's make history.
What's up everyone? Welcome back. Alright, my build guides are not quite ready to go just yet, so in this one, let's just take a closer look at what Incursion is really all about.
Hi, I'm Chris Wilson from Grinding Gear Games. In Incursion, Alva Valai will transport you into the past to find the lost Val treasure temple of Atzoatl. By spilling more Val blood, your time in the past can be extended. When the incursion ends, the items you earned will shower at your feet. Changes made in the past will affect the temple ruins in the present day. Unlocking doors in the past will allow you to access those rooms later. Killing Val architects will let you swap or upgrade rooms in the temple. You should remove rooms with disadvantages and upgrade rooms which can contain valuable rewards. You only get 11 chances to upgrade the temple before you visit it in the present, so make sure you do as much as you can to maximize your profits.
Alright, so this is your temple map. This is what you're ultimately trying to build with each one of your incursions. Every time you run into Alva Valai in the game, she opens up a portal into the past. It goes into one room of this temple. And the objective there is to kill the architects, to upgrade or modify the room how you want it, and to kill the monsters to both extend your time and to find a stone of passage if they drop one. So you can unlock a door and connect all the rooms, building up a giant pyramid, getting all the way up to the top to where the boss is. Which is what I've really focused on more. I didn't focus so much on getting the rooms upgraded to the little tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3, or if the room had a positive or a negative effect. I just wanted to get them all connected so that we could run the entire temple. Which was actually a lot easier than you would think, so I kind of feel like this was a wasted opportunity, but whatever, it's still a lot of fun. So, you know, the whole point of Incursion is ultimately to build up your giant temple, so that's where we're going to focus. We're going to do the temple. And there's like 13 rooms in here total, so it's a pretty big place. So even if you don't get it just the way you want, there's so much in there, you're gonna get loot no matter what.
At last, Atzoatl.
Alright, coming into the first room of the temple here. We'll clear out some monsters. We'll wait for Alva Valai's slow booty tagging along with us. Check our map. Alright, so we got our little floaty icon there to indicate which room we're currently in. But as you can see by the tunnels, they're not perfectly connected, so there's going to be some backtracking and everything. Don't worry, I got something to help us out with that as well. But so, like we've been saying, alright, so you go back in time, it's basically their way of how you, the users, it's more user interaction, how you yourself influence the construction of your own pyramid to make it the way you want it, like Chris Wilson said, to try to maximize the rewards. I didn't really do that very much, sorry guys, but I did before I did this video, and that was like a loot shower from heaven. Wow, there was a lot of stuff in there. Alright, so as you saw there, the little marker indicated we're still in the entrance. You go through the little door. Now we're over here in the next room. And we'll use this right here, so now the entrance is crossed off and green box, glowing, whatever, that's where we are. Alright, and then, so the other thing I wanted to say, I keep forgetting, was that once you do your 11 incursions, that's what Chris said, right? 11 incursions. And then you finally get access to the giant temple, or maybe it's a small temple, depending on how many rooms you did not unlock. Anyways, once you get into this temple, you only get to do it one time. You only get one try. If you die, Alva Valai, she only opens 6 portals. I believe it's always 6 portals. Duh, noob. So if you die 6 times and you didn't get to the end, well, oh well. Good luck next time, or better luck next time. Alright, we're coming up to another room here, so we'll go on through, clear the monsters out of the way, pull up our map and check our location. You know, again, your rooms are not going to, they're not going to be connected perfectly. There's going to be some backtracking. You don't want to get lost. Make a habit of that. 2 rooms X'd off. We're in the 3rd one now, so we'll go through here. We just want to clear out the monsters, reap any rewards, kill the architects for your challenges if you're working on them this league. But just so you don't have to listen to me ramble the whole time, let's hear a little bit from Alva Valai from the very first time you run into her in the game.
Thank the gods. You're no saint. I can see that. Though, who am I to question what form divine providence comes in? I am the great Alva Valai, reliquarian extraordinaire, seeker of mysteries, explorer of the unknown, lover of all things that glitter. And I need your help. The lost Temple of Atzoatl. Halls lined with finery, boxes stuffed with glimmering riches and relics, touched by insurmountable power. For eons, lost to history. Until now.
Alright, so we're just continuing to work our way through the temple, one room at a time, clearing out all the monsters, checking all the chests and whatnot. We finished that last room, the 3rd room. It was the Tempest Generator. And each room has its own different little effects that you want to look into. You can see it on the temple map. I don't really go into it in this video, so something to look for, but we are now in the Shrine of Empowerment. This is an example of one of those rooms I was talking about earlier that you would want to get rid of because it grants a negative effect. Negative in that it's negative to you, the player. In this case, the Shrine of Empowerment room empowers all monsters within the temple, in this case with 10% increased attack and cast speed. So that would be one of those things you want to get off of there in one of your previous incursions by killing one of the architects, and that would swap the room out and you would get rid of it. I do apologize if I get the names of any of the rooms or anything wrong. I recorded everything, I cut the video all together, and as you can imagine, I mean, 13 rooms, that's a lot of video to cut down, and it was just, I called it a night. So the voiceover is all being done next day just from notes and memory, but I did check the wiki for the 10% increased attack and cast speed, so get Shrine of Empowerment off of there and whatever. But I mean, what can I say? I stayed up way too late. It's just a lot of fun. It's really not hard to see why it's being accepted so positively by the community, and why it will most likely end up going into the core game once the Challenge League is over. Oh, 5 down, and we're moving on to the Omni Reactor plant. Now, I don't know for sure, I didn't look into it, but I'm guessing by the name that it probably empowers the Omni, who is actually the boss of the temple. So, another example of one of these rooms, if you're trying to maximize your profits and get all the bad stuff off of there because you don't want powerful monsters or bosses, this would be another example of another room to try to swap out or get rid of. Alright, I'm just gonna continue to work my way through the temple here, just clearing everything out, one room at a time, like I said. But as I do that, instead of just listening to me something I feel like doesn't really get a lot of attention in a lot of these videos is some of the lore in the video games. Not all, but some of it. So, with that in mind, instead of listening to me ramble about absolutely nothing for 15 damn minutes, we'll listen to someone with a much sexier voice, and we'll hear a little bit about the history of the temple from Alva Valai.
The lost Temple of Atzoatl is said to be the most famed in all Val history and myth. Best I can tell, the temple began its construction in the final years of the Val Empire. The exact date of its completion has been hard to ascertain, as it occurred shortly before the events which brought about the civilization's extinction. Perhaps it is the fragility of the timeline that has made Atzoatl such a staple of Val mythology. Some say it was a place of darkness, home to the most vile of sacrifices. But there are others who claim the temple to be the birthplace of technology. Even our own is said to pale in comparison to what was being forged within those walls. Scholars today have even suggested that it was the treasure house for Queen Atziri herself. Whichever is true, it was bound to have been fiercely protected by fanatics and royalty alike. And if something's worth protecting, well, then it's worth bloody taking. When I was young, my father gave me my first call to adventure by enlisting me in the employ of Dominus's navy. I used to love the sea, the way it smelled, the freshness of the air. But some stuff happened, and I returned to Theopolis, intent on living a lady's life. It was not meant to be, obviously. My lust for excitement brought me to the Reliquarians, a secret society of treasure hunters, funded by those cold and greedy societal upper crusts. I had my father pull some strings, and before I knew it, I was amongst it all, raiding temples and tombs across the land. But, well, you're an exile. You know how the Templars are. Untrustworthy is one way to describe them. When I came across a manual of Val blood thaumaturgy, I knew I couldn't let it fall into their hands. And it never did. Though that damned High Templar knew I was keeping something secret. And so, no longer welcome amongst the nobility, here I am. Luckily, there's a fortune to be made here, and a few of my old clients still remain loyal to me when it comes to spending what they have inside their purses. Well, most of my market no longer exists. But I'm an adaptable type, and there are plenty of pirates, thieves, tyrants, and nutters who will pay good coin for my finds. I may just have to do a little extra legwork to find them.
Interesting. Okay, boys and girls, this one's dragging on a bit long. I know, I apologize for that. So if you've managed to hang on this long, thank you very much for your support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and all that, you know. Alright, this room here, this is a good one to have. That right there is an explosive charge, and it'll even tell you on your temple map when you look at it, room contains an explosive charge. So if you mess your temple up, these are a very good thing to have. So like I said earlier, your temple, it really does not have to be perfect. If you mess up one of your incursions and you miss a stone of passage, you do not get the door unlocked. It's alright if you have an explosive charge. You can blow the door open with that. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I keep saying that. I mean, the whole game is based on RNG, so just for argument's sake, you could have one chest in your entire temple and potentially walk out of there with like the absolute best game item in Path of Exile. Sorry. Not likely gonna happen, but I'm just saying, it's possible. Alright, so let's say you unlocked all doors except for the boss room, and you missed it, you couldn't unlock it. You can use an explosive charge on it to blow it open, and when you go in there, the room will be full of monsters and interactive, so you will still be able to like fight the boss and everything. So definitely one to keep an eye out for in the beginning, you know, like I said, when you're not trying to maximize everything out, because at that point you should have all the doors open anyways and won't need the explosives. As I said, if you manage to hang on this long, then don't forget to like and subscribe. Help the channel grow. Help us get moved over to Twitch. I definitely can't wait to start live streaming, and so you will be notified when the next 3 videos for Path of Exile drop, which will be build guides. One of them for this character you've been watching. he is definitely not ready yet. This phase right here where the objective is he spawns ads, the ads come in, and if they get to him, he gains a buff. In this case, he'll start to gain an energy shield up there on his health bar on the top. If this character was ready to go, I would have 2 more threshold jewels in my tree right now. Molten Strike would have an increased area of effect, and that would not be an issue. However, Molten Strike is so powerful, it still didn't really matter. Look at that. We just power right through the energy shield, and we're done. And there you go. That was the entire temple. That was the Veil Omnitech, the newest boss currently in Path of Exile. Remember to keep an eye out for those upcoming videos, and hopefully I'll catch you again next time.